Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. But what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. Post game 44, where the Mets get shut out by the Pittsburgh Pirates as they fall by a final score of 4-0. A no show, complete no show from the Mets offensive unit. Clay Holmes was not the sharpest. Carlos Mendoza essentially waving the white flag before this game even begins, which we'll talk about all that. But before we jump into everything, leave a like on your way into the post game show if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your post notifications so you know when I upload or go live here on Met Central. What a pathetic performance, though, by the Mets today. I didn't feel good going into this game, to be honest with you. And the reason was simply because of the fact that look at the lineup they put out there. Look at the lineup they put out there. I don't think in my entire existence of I don't think in my entire fandom, I should say here, right? Of watching baseball almost on a nightly basis. I don't think I've ever seen in my life a manager willingly punting a game with an off day the next day. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a manager punt a baseball game with an off day the following day. How was Juan Soto not in the lineup tonight? How did he not pinch hit? In the fourth inning, here comes a spot with the bases loaded, and Carlos Mendoza has three lefties on the bench. One of them that has had a good series so far in Brett Beatty, and the other being the guy you're paying $800 million to in Juan Soto. And then McNeil is McNeil, but you know what? As much as I don't like McNeil, I'd rather roll the dice with Jeff McNeil up there than Jose Azocar going up there, especially when you use McNeil later on in the game. What was the difference at that point if you just put him in with the bases loaded when the Pirates pull the lefty from the game and Bailey Falter? What was the difference if you just went to your bench right then and there to go and try and score some runs there? It just felt like this entire night they did not care. And then Genesis Cabrera getting multiple innings, Clay Holmes struggling one inning. We don't even see Hefner step out of the dugout, and he worked out of it, but the bullpen wasn't even warming up behind Clay Holmes at that point. It's just a complete and utter disaster in terms of the way this went. And then the umpire tonight was just absolutely horrific. I don't like to blame the umpires for losses. At the end of the day, this falls on the fact that this offense is complete and utterly garbage. And the first two games, them winning kind of masked the fact that this offense has not been great. Let's be real here. Scoring no runs and getting shut out by Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter. Brutal. This is a team that you should be sweeping. And I don't care if I sound how I sound to people right now with the record and everything. I really do not care. How do you basically punt with an off day the next day? How do you punt that game? How's the offense continue to no-show against the Bailey Falters of the world? I mean, he walked 5 batters, couldn't even go 4 innings. No runs? 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position? Terrible. Just completely terrible. I mean, in the bottom of the first, after Clay Holmes has a 1-2-3 inning, you get the bases loaded. 2 outs. Torrens strikes out there in that at bat. Not a good at bat from him. He did not have a good day. Top of the second inning, though, you have where the umpires. I mean, again, I don't like to blame umpires at all, but Clay Holmes gets the first 2 outs, allows a single to IKF. The umpires I blame for 2 different things here, though. Number one, the rain is coming down at an obnoxious rate here, and how do you not call a rain delay here? How do you not call a rain delay at all when the infield looks the way it did? And then the second part I have a gripe with is Clay Holmes threw 5 strikes in that at bat. Or I should say, every pitch in that at bat was a strike, but they called, for whatever reason, sorry, outside of one pitch. For whatever reason, though, pitches 3 and 4, as I'm looking at the box score right now, very clearly in the strike zone, not called strikes there. And then Clay Holmes hangs a sweeper right over the plate to Matt Gorski. Wonderful. But that is inexcusable to leave that a sweeper at that part of the plate. But when you're getting squeezed that much, too, that was just absolutely terrible. Don't understand, though, why there was no rain delay. Garbage. He gets out of that inning, though, without allowing any more runs. And then the bottom of the second inning, you have Jose Azocar who walks. And here he is making the same mistake that he made earlier on when he was first called up, just falling asleep over at first base and getting picked off. Just falling asleep. While Lindor has control. Or, sorry, no, I was looking at the wrong bat there. But while Lindor's up at the plate, Jose Azocar just falling asleep. Falling asleep at first base. Credit to Clay Holmes, who settled down for a good amount of time. I mean, he put runners on base in the fourth inning, allowed a couple of singles, hung a couple of pitches there, especially that slider to IKF, but still worked his way out of it. And then the bottom of the fourth inning, after Nimmo singles, Marte flies out, which I would love to know right now why Starling Marte, and I tweeted this out, why is it that Starling Marte is off for pretty much an entire week, and then they just throw him right in the middle of the lineup as if he's some crucial piece to this lineup. But either way, he flies out. Torrens gets a single. Taylor pops out. Acuna walks. And the Pirates go to the bullpen. Instead of sending Juan Soto up, Brett Beatty up, Jeff McNeil up, Jose Azocar. And what does he do with a new pitcher in the game? Swings first pitch. Doesn't even wait to see a pitch and get a feel for the guy coming in. Swings first pitch. And then the fifth inning, it was over once Jared Triolo, the 9-hitter, gets a home run. Leaves sinker. Clay Holmes leaves a sinker right down the dick. What do you expect? 4-0 game at that point. He got into a little bit more trouble, allowed a single and a walk. Hefner nowhere to be found. There was the double play, though, at least from Bart to get out of it. A hard hit ball there. So, again, you have an off day. Why is the bullpen not even warming up there at that point? Why is Hefner not stepping out at the very least? That made no sense. And then the bottom of the fifth, Pete Alonso, here he is getting a single, trying to stretch it to a double, gets picked off at second base. At least Clay Holmes bounced back in the sixth inning, right? I'm not entirely mad at Clay Holmes. It wasn't a great start. It wasn't even, I would say, a good start. It was an okay start. I know people are going to say it's bad, but you know what? I can't get mad at Clay Holmes at all when this is the offense that he has trying to support him. Can't get mad when that's the case. And Genesis Cabrera comes in, has a good first inning. And you know what, right? This is what's funny. By the way, the Mets do nothing offensively in the 6th and 7th outside of a single from McNeil. But Genesis Cabrera, for whatever reason, again, I've said it how many times this post-game show, there's an off day tomorrow. And for whatever reason, Carlos Mendoza, I don't know if he didn't get the memo. I don't know what it was about here. But for whatever reason, Genesis Cabrera got pushed another inning, loads up the bases, doesn't not even get pulled there at all. I don't even remember if anyone was warming up at that point. He works out of it. But again, the principle of it is just complete and utterly stupid. Why is it that with an off day, Genesis Cabrera is trying to be pushed 2 innings? Why are you punting a game when you're down 4-0, which with I mean, you would think that you'd have confidence in your offense, right? Not that they've been great, but Nunez at least had a good outing, his best outing since coming back from the I or triple A, if you will, IL triple A rehab assignment. I don't know what you want to call it, but either way, at least he looked good. But the ninth inning, I mean, Marte had a leadoff single. That's really all she wrote there. There were a couple of hard hit balls from Beatty and Acuna to the warning track. Just overall, this falls on the offense. Clay Holmes was okay at best. Hung a pitch. The umpires didn't help him on the other home run, but just let too many guys get on base at points and worked it, which was in too many jams, is really what it comes down to. Cabrera was fine until they tried to push him a bit, but again, credit to him, he got out of it. Nunez was fine. The offense, though, Lindor, another 0-4 day from him. Vientos went 1-4. Alonso, I said in the last post game, a little bit better from him, I guess. 1-3, had a walk, but trying to stretch that to a double was just complete and utterly stupid when your offense had nothing going for it at that point, which maybe that's why he did. I don't know. But like, just you had guys get hits, but it did not matter because not with runners in scoring position. Taylor provided nothing for you. Beatty provided nothing for you when he came in the pitch hit. Uh Acuna had a rough day. Again, just it's more of the same of what we've seen and what I've talked about with this offense, where it's just they're a good offense, but they're not a great offense, if you even want to call them good, because the lack of ability to hit with runners in scoring position, it just amazes me with some of the guys they have in this lineup. But between the offense that has been this way with runners in scoring position all season, and then Carlos Mendoza punting this game, I'm not surprised by the outcome. I'm really not. But this was really a team that you should have swept. Move on, I guess, and go beat the Yankees. But very frustrating to see with the, like I said, with the off day. I know I keep repeating myself with that, but it's just it's just stupid. It's just stupid the way Carlos Mendoza went about this game. It's just stupid this offense's inability to hit with runners in scoring position. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Leave a like if you haven't. Subscribe. Let's see what's going on here. You don't leave two of your best hitters off the lineup and win games. I mean, I'm assuming Soto, obviously, you're talking about there, but I mean, Lindor, I would say, is up there too. Alonso, so I don't know who you're referring to there, but I mean, those Lindor didn't hit today, unfortunately. Fortunately, he didn't. And I don't like to get on Lindor because, again, he can't do it every single night. But at the end of the day, they needed him tonight because the rest of this offense is just putrid. Terrible. No offense. Pretty much. Just once again, no showed, wrong channel. Not too far off these days. Mendoza's doing awful. I have not been a fan of the way that he has managed games lately. I got to be honest with you, and I defend. I've went to lengths to defend Mendoza a lot, even earlier this season when there was questionable decisions. I would defend him, but it's getting to a point where I can't defend this crap when he does it way too much. And again, there are times where he makes decisions I don't agree with and it works out. That's baseball, but there's just a lot of questionable moves in my opinion lately. And I don't like to be the guy to blame the manager because a manager shouldn't have that much impact on a baseball team, but at the end of the day, the fact that it's too many times where I'm questioning what the hell is going on. Like, it's one thing if every now and then I'm questioning a decision, but it's so much now. And I don't get why Soto wasn't playing either. Or didn't even pinch hit. Didn't take the jacket off. Yeah. I mean, this is really it. How come the Pirates hitters, their 9 hitter being one of those hitters, and the other one being their 7th hitter, those guys could show up for them. But this offense, no. Heaven forbid Lindor has an off game, right? Heaven forbid that happens. The entire offense falls apart. I don't know why we're doing this when Soto didn't even play tonight, man. I I get it. I want to see Soto hit with runners in scoring position too when he's in the lineup, but why are we critiquing a guy that didn't even take the jacket off tonight? To me, that's just out of place. That comment. I'm sorry, and I appreciate you commenting and watching, but that's out of place entirely. He didn't even play tonight. And yeah, I mean they're not going to sweep the Yankees if the offense is going to be this putrid. They're not sweeping. They're not sweeping the Yankees with this offense. And if they can't hit off Bailey Falter, you think they're hitting off Max Fried on Sunday? No way. I don't care that they're in a little league ballpark. No way. Not at all. And I mean, yeah, this is what it comes down to. Clay wasn't great, but this does not fall on him. Definitely does not fall on him at all. I just can't sit here and blame the pitching when this is what the offense is. At least Schwellenbach's a good pitcher. Probably the only team worse with runners in scoring position. The Pirates, they probably left 20 people on base yesterday against Senga. And that's why I look at this series and say, even though they won 2 games this series, I'm not pleased at all with the way this series went down. And we're going to talk about it more on the podcast tomorrow, which we're going to be collaborating here, our show with Mets Weekly. So go check them out. Go check out the show tomorrow when we do it. That's going to be around 5 o'clock, if I believe, unless there's last minute changes. However, um, yeah, I'm going to go in depth more with it. I was not pleased one bit, though, with this series. I was not pleased at all because not only the fact that they got outscored technically in this series, but like you mentioned too, against a good team, the amount of times that the Pirates left guys on base, that's not happening against a good baseball squad. Those teams are going to make you pay when you put those runners on base. And they'll respond unlike the Mets offense. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's like last year where they're just playing down the competition, right? And yeah, they do have to make additions to the lineup. And I'm sorry, but the Luis Robert rumor, that's not enough. This team needs a DH. This team absolutely needs a DH. This series was just, again, they won it, but it's not good enough the way they're playing right now. That's the bottom line. And it's been this way for weeks. I don't want to sound like I'm just saying this now. It has been like this for quite a bit now. The record is what it is, but we saw them win 101 games in 2022. We saw them win that many games in 2022, and look what happened. Haven't learned from the National Series at all. Nope. All right. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload or go live. Again, be on the lookout for the podcast tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next one.